been canned.
Welcome to the Millsurf Mike channel. Today I go over a firearm that I've had for a while, but finally put enough rounds through it to give it a proper review. The Ruger PCC in 9mm. Since I switched from carrying my Beretta 92FS Compact Inox to the Glock 19X a few years ago, I've kind of wanted something that could replace the Beretta CX4 Storm as the truck gun, because I want something that uses Glock magazines. Click on the card above if you want to see my review of the CX4. For some reason, AR-9s really don't interest me, and while I was tempted to pull the trigger a couple times, I just can't jump on board of trusting a Kel-Tec Sub 2000 to go bang when I need it to. That's why when Ruger released a PCC a couple years ago, I was interested. In general, modern Ruger has a great reputation when it comes to revolvers and bolt-action rifles, while making a decent entry-level AR-15, and in my humble opinion, the best 1911 price-value-wise out there in the SR 1911. There is, of course, their mainstay, the Ruger 1022, which has been rugged for generations. They also had previous experience with pistol caliber carbines in the Model 44, which is basically a bulked-up 1022 that fired 44 Magnum from a tube magazine. They produced this from 1961 to 1985. They would try this market again in the early 2000s with the Deerfield carbine, which again fired the 44 Magnum from a rotary magazine similar to the 1022. While the Model 44 was similar to the 1022, the Deerfield was closer in design to the M1 carbine with an open top. This was discontinued in 2006. When it comes to polymer and magazine-fed pistols, Ruger's reputation is spotty at best. I say this because I think Ruger is self-aware enough about their strengths and weaknesses when they came out with the PCC. The PCC is basically a bulked-up 1022 takedown, firing 9mm with most of its controls reversible. While they do include one Ruger SR9 magazine, Ruger's self-awareness when it comes to their own pistols shows, as they included a magwell insert to use Glock magazines. This addition is the difference between the PCC being something only bought by the Ruger faithful that will be discontinued within a decade, to what might become a company staple along with the 1022. I'm not a fanboy of any gun manufacturer, but I do appreciate gun makers that produce guns that work. This is why my carry guns are Glock. Among other things, the one thing that Glocks are so damn reliable are their magazines are second to none, because a bad magazine can turn an otherwise good gun into a bad gun. Glock also has a very high percentage of the handgun market in the US, and there are by far more Glock magazines out there than just about any other pistol. Hell, the ability to take Glock magazines is one big reason the Kel-Tec Sub 2000 still sells. Still, Ruger's as a company is on a much higher tier than Kel-Tec, so they swallowing some company pride and sending out magwell conversions with their PCC is a genius and in the long run, very profitable move. One last thing, the PCC is very affordable. The MSRP is $649, but can be found in the real world for about $550 plus or minus if you look hard enough. What do I think of mine? Of course, the first thing I did was replace the SR9 magwell with the Glock magwell. I put 600 to 700 rounds of various quality ammo through it, not cleaning it once in that amount of time. I've not had one malfunction, even with the 100 rounds of that absolute garbage Winchester forged steel case ammo. While not the thousands of rounds that the tactical channels put through them to 100% say they're reliable, I'm going to deem this reliable enough for my purposes. I've not done any bench testing, but standing, it hits the steel anywhere from close range to 100 yards, and with 9mm, I'm not sure I'd want to take it any further out. Since I bought this to become the truck gun, I also had to do some comparisons with my Beretta CX4 Storm. Alright, one final comparison I want to do before I do the complete overview of the Ruger PCCs. I wanted to compare it to my Beretta CX4 Storm. Now, I did a review on the CX4 Storm a long time ago, and this has been my truck gun for several years now. And before I actually do a side-by-side shooting comparison of them, I can already tell that there's things that I like about the Storm better than I do the Ruger PCC, where the PCC kind of comes up a little short. Now, the PCC is definitely heavier than the Storm. I believe the PCC is 112 ounces and the CX4 is 90 ounces, something like that. And even though the full length of the firearm is shorter on the Beretta, it actually has a slightly longer barrel at 16.6 inches as compared to 16.2 inches on the PCC. Although the PCC is a tank down and will go a lot better in a backpack, let's say. And the PCC does come with a threaded barrel and a fluted barrel, which, you know, that adds some advantages. Sights on the, I like the sights on the CX4 better than the PCC. And one huge advantage is if you find yourself in a firefight and need to do a quick mag change, your mag release on the CX4 is right there, you know, right where your thumb can reach. Whereas on the, your mag release is all the way above the mag, so your thumb, like, you have to actually use your offhand to release the mag on the PCC. So there are definite disadvantages of the PCC over the CX4 Storm. I had intentions of doing a side-by-side minute of can accuracy test with these, but I forgot my glasses that day. My vision has deteriorated to the point where it's difficult for me to even see the can 50 yards away, so that test will have to wait for another time. Even though they both have their ups and downs, I think it's time to replace the CX4 with the PCC as the truck gun because of the magazine commonality with my carry gun. Glock 17 and even 33 round magazines are much easier to obtain than Beretta mags, and they are much likely to rust if they end up in moisture for long periods of time. Don't ask me how I know this. I'd like to get a decent red dot for this as my vision has deteriorated and I seldom wear my glasses. Before I sign off, I'll likely put up a separate video sometime on how to change the magwell. Even though it's sent with the firearm by the factory and YouTube has loosened up their rules by a little bit, I still don't trust them to totally demonetize this video if I were to include that here. Please be aware of where your elected officials and the groups that claim to represent you stand on the Second Amendment. Please join the GOA, the largest and best no-compromise 2A advocacy group out there, and get $5 off your membership with the link in my description. If you like my videos, please check out some others, like, share, comment, subscribe. Also, please check out my Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and who I support on Utreon and Patreon. Thank you for watching, and as always, have a great day. Right, there are a couple more tests I want to do with the Ruger PCC 9mm before I actually complete this review. I know there's some people out there who pull the, well, she can't handle steel, she doesn't deserve brass. So I'm going to put the absolute worst steel case ammo that I could possibly find through this thing here. Put it about 100 rounds through it. This is this Winchester USA Forge. This isn't even the good steel. This is a absolute worst steel. Decent steel is like Tula or any of the Russian-made stuff. This stuff is absolutely horrible. But we're going to see what she does with it.